Well, welcome once again, United Countrymen. In today's episode, we're going to talk about how Charlie Kirk has caused a mass awakening in the world of conspiracy theories. Now, as many of you know, going back nearly 24 years, I have been very outspoken and have been revealing information about these events since 9/11, 2001, when the mass amount of these types of things started taking place on a public scale. Now, I'm going to tell you a story today, and you should stay tuned. I think you're going to really like this, and I think you're going to find it interesting because it affects every single person's life that begins to wake up, that begins to realize maybe they haven't been told the truth about everything in life. Maybe some institution controlled by a small group of people has been lying to them. Now, I woke up 24 years ago, and then I became an instructor. I wrote a book called Reason to Believe. I wrote a book called Millionaire Mindset, and many other type of white papers and instructionals on understanding the mass manipulation of people under these basically lifelong conspiracy traps and lies they have put us in to keep us under control and following their narratives. And that goes along from things they imply in the movies and put in front of us constantly, from the school system, the whole wasted time of 12 to 20 years of your life in school. I have covered all of these and exposed them through military level psychological information on how this is being done, because it affects every single thing you do in life, whether you're in the matrix or you're starting to become out of it. Now, Charlie Kirk was the first modern person who woke up, who was an extremely public figure. Now, he a extremely public figure who has caused masses of people to start questioning things. Now, do I believe what went on with Charlie Kirk was a real event? Not really. And that's all I can say in order for this channel to stay on the air. But there's something too odd about all of the events. I even went through nearly 100 anomalies that make no sense, that should not have occurred, and are too sensitive for me to come right out and say this or that. I will only tell you that I believe the entire thing was pre-planned and set up. And whatever happened to Charlie Kirk, now that is a question. I'm not on the inside. I'm not sitting in the seat of the car. I'm not sitting in the private meeting, and I'm not in Valhalla in Australia to see if he's actually there or not. And those of you who think you know for a fact, you're not there either. It's only speculation. We begin this story with the fact that we do know, and that is that Charlie Kirk woke up. Whatever system he was under, perhaps even MK Ultra, perhaps his wife is under the same formula from these military families, from these perhaps occult tie-ins where children are used for certain things in the long run. I won't go into that here. But it is possible that all of them are under, just like movie stars, just like singers, sometimes they're put under these formulaic programs that cause them to behave a certain way and say certain things. If not, these billionaire backers would not be investing their money into an agenda they want to take place through them. Now, perhaps Charlie Kirk's programming broke down, and that programming could have been Gaza, and the events that were going on were just too powerful for him to ignore. And now Candace Owens has begun exposing, to a huge extent, how deep this rabbit hole goes into things the average person is overwhelmed by. Now, the problem with all of this, you have seen, is Charlie Kirk was made an example of for waking up. He woke up, he exposed his handlers, he exposed the multiple millions of dollars disappearing out of the organization he was supposed to be running. I don't know about that. We noticed his wife made about $7 or $8 million in just a few days after he was, whatever happened to him. There are probably up to 200 weird anomalies, and Candace Owens is exposing even weirder ones now, with French Foreign Legion troops being in the U.S., training with the military, and then perhaps even showing up in mass as looking like part of the crowd that was put together at the last minute at this event with where it's supposed to be on a college campus, but you end up with mostly adults there. Anyway, that's very weird. So you guys are waking up to these anomalies that are occurring. And many people, going back to 2001, when 9/11 happened, they did not experience the mass extinction process. They were still naive that we have lived through, where we have been awakened that there is a few select Silicon Valley or wealthy tech giants or individuals who have a religious system that believes 85% of the world needs to be eliminated. And because they did not succeed at that, they were exposed. And millions of people who were asleep 24 years ago when the same type of event took place that led to a war and tens of thousands of people dying. Now people are awake. And when Charlie Kirk woke up, it looks like they made an example of him, or they didn't think it would go public and they could cover it up. But those of you who are awake are very frustrated, much like me, but I've learned how to handle it. You're very frustrated when you look at a stadium full of people showing up naively happy, clappy, supportive of the continuation of his organization under the fact that they eliminated him for waking up, and then they're moving right along with the agenda of their billionaire backers supporting a country that is genociding a whole population of people. And what is the problem with this? This begins to create an enormous amount of anxiety, fear, distrust of tens of thousands of Americans. This is a very real thing. I've dealt with it now for 24 years, not only awakening people, but helping people who have become awake, who don't realize what's in store for you. Because the people behind all of this, they have all of the military level propaganda, the destruction techniques, the ways to eliminate you, especially if you're Christian. They know people are going to find out, and they have preset plans to keep you silent, to make your life a living hell, to destroy you, to make an example of you. So let me tell you about a man I worked with not long ago. He was sharp. He was a deep researcher, and he made six figures in the tech industry, not a dummy. And he started connecting these dots, much like you have. And he noticed media manipulation. He noticed historical lies. He noticed corporate agendas and false flags and banking corruption. And you name it, every video he could find to doom scroll through and find information on, he found it. And what he found, and he didn't realize it, was he found trouble and anxiety, problems and distrust. What he never found, and you will never find it either, is a solution, how to deal with it. This is a huge problem. This is the Matrix. This is what the movie was about. He began to wake up, but he did not have a Morpheus. There was no Neo. He was trying to be Neo without the training, without the support. And he thought it was his duty to warn people. Can you relate? Feel like the world needs to know? He couldn't help himself. He just had to share the information. Texting friends, even trying to save his wife, to wake her up and help her realize she didn't want to hear it. And here's what happened to him. And he didn't see it coming. His wife pulled away. His kids started acting different, probably because his wife was saying stuff to him. His coworkers called him intense. And then HR got involved. He got fired from his six-figure business, from his job. His church didn't want him volunteering anymore after word started getting around. And within 18 months, he was alone, angry, unemployed, and deeply bitter. Highly intelligent, but he did not plan for what they had set up for him. All he had done was tell the truth. He never understood the one thing that would have saved him the whole time. This system already had a plan in place to destroy him the moment he saw too much, just like Charlie Kirk. This is not a movie. This is happening right now to people just like you. What happened to him is going to happen to you. If you don't know how to navigate this, if you think you're just awake, if you think you're too smart for it to happen, you are a target they are planning on. You may not see it yet because your bank account is still full and your friends still laugh at your memes and think they're harmless. But make no mistake, the system is patient. It doesn't care how smart you are. only cares that you have escaped the script. And it is designed to make you suffer for it, not loudly, but quietly. Through lost friendships, ghosted business deals, coincidental character or career problems, social rejection, emotional collapse, and eventually depression so thick you can't feel anything but rage. And this is not paranoia. This is the psychological warfare, and it's real. And everyone thinks they're an exception. Everyone says that won't happen to me. I can handle it. But I've been doing this for 24 years. I've worked with hundreds of people, business owners and pastors and lawyers, Christians, veterans, therapists, even people in intelligence or former intelligence. And almost every single one of them said the same thing until the walls started closing in, until the people they loved turned cold, until they started doubting their own sanity. So what's the good news about all this? And I'd like to tell you, that man I told you that I worked with earlier, we retrained his mindset. We showed him how to carry the truth without self-destruction, because I have been down the path of self-destruction without knowing it. I have done the same exact things that he did, and I lost everything. I lost my business. I lost my house. I lost my fiance. I lost my friends that I had had for almost 20 years because they did not want to hear the truth. The truth is still the truth to this day. They didn't want to hear it. And I was trying to wake them up. I didn't realize that even Jesus spoke in parables to those who couldn't and didn't want to hear the outright truth yet. So we taught him the psychology, the spiritual principles, and the social tactics for staying sane and strategic. So he rebuilt everything. He's remarried now. He's employed, and now he's respected. And he still knows what he knows, but he knows how to deal with it. And he knows how to carry it. What is the truth trap? It's a tactical webinar and survival strategy masterclass for truth seekers who have started seeing through the lies of the system, want to keep their lives, relationships, and purpose intact. They don't want to burn out, go broke, or end up angry and alone inside. So I'm telling you, because I've experienced this myself, and hundreds of other people go through the same thing. Because once you wake up to these conspiracies, you can't ever go back. And they know what the human psychological tendencies are to do to try to save the world. And they're waiting to destroy you. You have to know how to deal with this psychologically. You have to know how to do it, how to beat them at their own game and win. The whole Bible, the entire Bible, is 6,000 years of exposing conspiracy theories of one side, the evil dark side, against the light side. So this is a psychological breakdown that's used to awaken people in this masterclass. And it'll tell you why people you love will suddenly turn on you, how to navigate that and prevent it, how to protect your job reputation and emotional sanity, especially if you're an entrepreneur, why the system expects you to scream the truth and then punish you for it. It's waiting for you to do that. What Jesus really meant when he said, "He that has ears to hear, let him hear," but not to throw your pearls to swine. And how to wake up wisely without sacrificing everything. Because in the end, if you stay on this path, you will sacrifice everything and not realize it. Who is this for? This is not for the curious and the curiosity chasers, the dopamine junkies, the YouTube scrolling addicts, the doom scrollers, or victimhood cultists. That's not who this is for. The people that want to stay broke and complaining about things and not realizing why they are staying in these positions, grumpy, nobody relates to them, blaming everyone else. This is for leaders, thinkers, providers, fathers, warriors, women of clarity, Christians, men of responsibility. Anyone who sees too much and wants to handle it like Jesus and not in chaos. If you're successful or want to stay that way, you need this, because knowledge doesn't protect you in the conspiracy trap. I hope you can understand that. It is wisdom, like King Solomon, that does this. And if you do nothing, if you don't come to this, if you don't check it out, one of these two things is going to happen. I know, because I've watched it go down for 24 years. Think you can keep doom scrolling. You think you can keep watching. You think you're going to find the answers through a video on one of these platforms where they control it. Do you think they're going to let too much information get out that would set the world free They're not going to let that happen. You're going to watch, and you're going to watch, and you're going to scroll, and 20 years of your life will go by, and you'll never figure it out. This is how important this information is for your life. So if you don't come to this, one of two things is going to happen. You'll bury what you know, and you're going to numb out, and you go back to fake conversations with fake people again and a fake life. Or you'll try to wake up the world, and you'll get shredded. You will eventually feel alone, start hiding who you really are, wonder if you're going crazy. You're going to lose relationships, lose money, lose your job, lose your joy, possibly career, your wife or your husband. And one day you'll wake up in a house full of books, conspiracy videos, and half-read tabs in there, and a cup of cold coffee with no one left who actually wants to hear you, nobody to talk to, because all the social media, if you try to post something, let's say on Facebook, you know what happens? 3 people see it, or anybody else will see it. So they're programmed to ignore it. This is why it doesn't work. That's why they let you do it. They want you releasing energy into the nothingness so that you continue to feel isolated and alone. We live in a world where there is one side, an evil side, and another side that is the good side, just like the Bible's been talking about for 8,000 years now, maybe 6 or 8,000 years. And this conspiracy wake up, this conspiracy trap that is going on, you need to know how to navigate it like Jesus did, like he trained the disciples to deal with this. Whatever it might be, there are always a new conspiracy coming out. You need to know how to handle it, how to win at the game. That's why we created this masterclass. It's from the United Countrymen. I will be teaching it. And you need to know all of the tactics and ways they are trying to destroy you through the use of social media, the news, these platforms, fake gurus or fake influencers. You need to know all of this so you can navigate it, so that you can win and we can win. Because in Satan's short season, he's out to deceive the world. And even the elect, if possible, can be deceived. And that includes me, because it happened to me. And it includes you. Join us and sign up now. There will be information below in the description that you can go to and sign up for this masterclass. You will enjoy it, and it will awaken you to protecting yourself for the rest of your life. Thanks, guys, for joining me and listening to me. I hope you enjoyed this little story, and I hope you really understand that it is real. If you keep going down this path, it's going to happen to you. And there are ways to deal with it. There are ways to prevent it. Join us on the conspiracy trap. Beat them at their own game.